Good morning. It's Saturday. For anyone that's keeping track, it's the weekend again. The cartoons are over. It's time for us to gather and play. So I am here. I'm going to share this out so we can find some people. I have no idea how. I have the idea how. I just don't have a lot of brain function yet. So excuse me. We'll see what happens. Sharon Boyle, I see you. Thank you for joining me. I'm trying to pull it together this morning, so excuse me if I'm a little flighty. I have had the migraine, just the unbelievable migraine, and I'm not even complaining. I feel like it's centered right here, so there's some big growth going on, and my body is not wanting to keep up. So I'm going to be easy today. I'm going to have an easy playtime. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for joining me. So glad to see some friends. I'm trying to share out, but my other little phone that I'm trying to share out from is being very sluggish, so we'll get around to it eventually. I just want my friends to find me so we can play. How are you all feeling today? You'll have to excuse me for being kind of off. I'm doing the best that I can. I think we're going to be okay. That's the beautiful thing about this, is it doesn't really matter how I feel necessarily. I just start like, okay, all right, I'm just a vessel here. I'm just going to be the vessel today. I'm going to call in all the powers of the universe. Bring it. I need all the help I can get. And you know what? They're so much better at this than I am anyway, so it's okay. It'll be great. I think that my phone just isn't getting an internet connection. That's fine. That's the way it goes sometimes. It's a little extra phone that I've got, and I think that it's just having issues again. Yeah, it is. Even though it could very easily get itself a hotspot, it's like, I don't see you. Oh. Fine, technology, be that way. We'll do something different. Good morning, you guys. Good morning. How are you feeling today? Tell me. Join me. Carol, it's nice to see you. Annie, 7, it's nice to see you. Charles, good morning. While I'm sitting here fighting with my technology, I see you guys are gathering at the playground, so let's have some fun. I figure this little thing will get out there somewhere along the way. People will find us, right? We don't really need to work so hard at this. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in trying to make things work, and I think that I'm not even going to try. If somebody comes on and wants to help, I can't even get this thing to stop talking at me right now, so just stop it. It's okay. You can stop that now. I'm turning myself over. Can you tell? That's better. Do you do that? I found that trick when I used to be, a lot more stressed out. And I would go to places like Walmart, and Walmart was the worst place. It still is, but it doesn't really bother me like it used to, because I've learned how to just I remember when I first started really learning how to ground my energy. I would walk behind someplace in a quiet corner, behind some clothing racks or something, and I'd be like, okay, call in anyone I can think of. Archangel Michael's excellent, but just I need some help here. I'm not going to make it through this Walmart. I'm so sensitive always, and so I needed help even getting through Walmart. And all it was just to ask. He's like, well, thank you for asking. So yeah, I'll be glad to help you. And so I'm doing that now because, I announced it earlier. I don't want to be I'm not a whiny baby. Hi, Batman. He's distracting me. He's peeking over my shoulder. My little child is alive and well. Archangel Peter is your archangel. He messes with me all the time. Charles, that's fun. Is he like one of those ones that likes to play games on you? That'd be fun to do that. I'm still fighting a bit of a migraine. It's trying to work its way out. It came out of the blue yesterday. I was perfectly fine yesterday morning, and I sat down, and all of a sudden it was like, I can't see. And so it's been doing this thing, but I feel like it's an ascension symptom. I'm not really that concerned about it. It's uncomfortable. It's kind of dragging me down a little bit, and yet it's just part of this huge growth spurt that we're all in right now. And so these things, our bodies are going to fight back a little bit. They're not quite, I'm having some trouble expanding. I feel like my head is trying to, would you please, skull, would you please make more space for all of this expansion? So who's feeling that way today? Are you feeling like you're just, do you ever have days when you're just kind of, your soul, your spirit feels like it's too big for your body? And it's like, it's growing pains. It's like, if I could just push, make more space, I would feel better. So that's my goal today. I think we'll play with that a little bit today because it feels like that's a good direction for us to take. Sharon Boyle, you need to be in issues group. My thoughts have been chugging it with insecurities and frustrations for over a week now. I was doing really well and making good progress, and then got tonsils and tonsillitis and throughout that and afterwards it's been a struggle both mentally and physically. Not able. Well, guess what? You didn't make it to our group yesterday. That was not at all your fault. That was just, I saw you. I tried to get to you. And by the time I saw that you were trying to get in, you had gone off doing your thing. And then when you came back, it was almost time for us to get out. And so we really wanted you there, Carol. So glad that you're here. We really wanted you to join us yesterday. It was a very sweet group. So today, Sharon, I'm kind of feeling that way too. I have to really fight. I think the biggest emotion, lower vibrational emotion that I have to fight with is my own insecurity. It's wow, there's so much going on right now. I feel like I'm being pulled into so much. And I love the fact that I'm able to find the time for all these different projects. And I love that Source, God, whoever you want to I've got the greatest boss ever. And yet I still, when it's almost time for that camera, especially Thursday nights, I'm like a basket case. And I'm sure that's probably where the migraines came from too, is getting myself all nerved up. And then the day after, once I've gone through, I don't know how many of you are migraine sufferers, but we tend to be day after kind of people. We'll do fine when we need to. And then after we drop. That reminds me of Steve. When he was dying, it was like, I was okay. I climbed up in the bed. I was right there with him all the way through it. And then after, it was like crash and burn time. We tend to be those people that run into the burning building. We're going to be there. We're going to do whatever needs to be done. And then afterwards, our bodies are like, my gosh, if you don't take a break now, we're going to knock you into taking a break. And so that's where I am. I'm just being perfectly honest this morning. Yes, Carol, you hate migraines. I think you were the one, was it you that said that you had a migraine yesterday or had a headache? I was good until that blinding thing came. And then it was like, well, now you're done. You're done, sister. Isn't it the weirdest thing when you're sitting in there and everything's fine and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I'm just not quite seeing all the things that I'm supposed to be seeing right now. Marika, hi. So glad that you joined us. So enough migraine talk. It's okay. We're not feeding that energy of migraine anymore. I am well. I am whole. Repeat after me. I am well. I am whole. I am blessed. I am abundant. Much better. So, where we were, Sharon, is I love that when my higher self says, okay, let me come in for a little bit. You need some help, little girl. It's like, okay, here we are. There we are. Much better grounded. So what we'll work on today is that, what I was talking about is that insecurity, that part of us that likes to fall back. And there's nothing wrong with that, Sharon. I want you to understand that growth spurts come and they you go 10 steps out and then you'll fall back a little bit. You don't go all the way back again. You're never going to fall all the way back into where you were. But it's kind of like a boomerang effect. You're like, ooh, I got this huge growth. I'm flying. I'm going so good. And then you will fall backwards. I'm not even going to share this. I've been trying for a while and I gave up. I don't want to be distracted by that. So, yes, goodbye migraine. Thank you, Sharon. So let's be in that space of it's okay. It's okay to fall back a little bit. We have physical, I can be in this really beautiful space spiritually, and then I have a migraine or I get sick with something or I get injured or whatever, and my body starts screaming at me and I lose it's like, where did I go? Like I was in such a good space and now I'm gone. I can't find it. You didn't go anywhere. You didn't go anywhere. Sometimes the body screams louder than the spirit. You know, it's just making such a big noise that you have a hard time finding yourself. And it's okay to rest into that, to just listen to your body. We are still physical beings. We want to get all enlightened and we want to be off on this spiritual plane all the time. But we have this beautiful experience that many people don't get to have. We get to have this beautiful experience of feeling what it's like to be in spirit, fully in spirit, while still in physical body. I know that many of you are experiencing that, and we're going to go to that place here again in a little while. You can experience that sense of light, like you're being lifted. Like we're so supported right now, our angels and our guides and our ancestors, everyone, they're just all around us, source energy. And so we get this sense of we're being lifted off of our chair. You know, we want to be sleeping, and all of a sudden we feel like we're literally floating. We're moving into this new energy, and our spirits recognize it. They're like, yes, this is what it's like to get out of the body again, and it feels so good. And then the body goes, well, wait, what about me? I'm still here. You're still in physical form. You got to deal with me too. You can't just, you're not dead yet, sister or brother. You're still here. And so the body sometimes squeaks louder, and it just says, okay, come back to me for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. We came here to be this. We came here to be physical. And our bodies need our attention and our love, really. So we'll focus on that today. It's just loving ourselves through it. Let's all be together and just help each other through these difficult times, because truly part of these symptoms that we're going through are ascension symptoms. It's a big time for our bodies. It's a big adjustment. We're really going through a lot of big changes physically. So be patient with yourself, just like you will your children. Sharon, when your children are sick, when they're tired, when they're grumpy, whatever, you don't just yell at them because they're sick. You know, you're like, oh, okay, babe, I'm going to put you down for a little bit. You're going to take a nice rest. I'm going to snuggle you in. How many times, those of you who are parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever, one of my favorite times was when my kids would finally be still enough. Whether, you know, sometimes it came through illness and sometimes it was just that they were tired. But they would climb up in my lap and we would just sit and rock. And I'd just hold them. And there was such energy between us, such beautiful energy. And so we're going to focus our meditation on that today, of being held. Just, you know, let that little squeaky wheel, that child that's hurting today, maybe physically or emotionally, we're going to focus our energy on loving them today, on allowing them to be a little more squeaky, a little more insecure, and just saying, you know what, I love you. I love all of my parts, all of those little pieces of me. And there's a lot of them. I promise you, you've got a lot of parts that need your attention. A lot of little people inside of you, a lot of adult people, a lot of teenagers. Yes, we have crazy teenagers riding around inside of us too. All these little parts of us, you know, that we carry around, that some carry heavy burdens. And so we want to help them to unload those burdens. Sorry, I heard an alarm. I think it's coming from the window. I want to make sure it wasn't something in my house. Let's see what else you guys got. I love to get here for a little bit and just have some open talk so that we can really just see how everybody is, because Spirit comes in and is like, okay, these people need this. I totally came here this morning not having any idea where we're going with this, and I'm glad, because I want you guys to direct it today. Let's see. Marika, thank you for being here. Cheryl, sorry. Thank you for being here too. At Camp Strom last night. No internet all night last night. So happy back. You know, there's something beautiful about unplugging too, isn't there, Julie? That's beautiful that you got to spend some time away from all of that. And it's also incredible that you're back here with us. Thank you for joining us today now that you're back. Carol, we need balance, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Hard to maintain. It sure is, and I'm a total Libra. I'm all about the balance. I love to have balance in my life, and when I don't feel, I thank you. You know what? I think that was divinely inspired that you said that. If I'm not creating enough balance in my life, my my body always shows the signs. The body holds score. Have you ever heard that before? When you're not taking proper care of yourself, sometimes it shows itself through different kinds of, wherever you're feeling that pain or that discomfort. It's either you're holding on to some blocked energy from something in your past, or something's happened and you've locked yourself up there. You've got a blockage right in that space. Or your body is trying to tell you something. For me, I remember last year, I've talked about it before, I was trying to hold on to something that wasn't right for me, and this shoulder was excruciating. I injured it, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And when I finally decided that I was going to stop holding on to something that wasn't right for me, that shoulder healed like crazy. I could throw football again. So pay attention to your body. I'm trying to do that, more and more. Okay, we've got a headache today. What is it? What is it that I'm not paying attention to? And my shoulders are hurting. So more than likely, it's just me trying to carry the world again. I am not creating the proper balance. I'm not spending time in meditation. I haven't been going out. It's been rainy a lot. I haven't been getting out in nature enough. I've lost my balance. Thank you, Carol, for that. I need to get back out there, and I need to, even if it's raining, I need to create that, because I'm spending a lot of time in front of my electronics working. So I'm going to work on creating a better balance today and see if this headache doesn't lift just by doing that. Carol, my younger daughter does not like to be hugged. That has always been hard for me. I can imagine. I have one like that, Carol. I have 6 kids, and I have one little boy who is learning. He's not even a little boy anymore. He's a big guy. He's 16 years old. But from the time he was born, he didn't want to be held. I nursed him until as long as I could. He was about 10 months old, and he was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. No more being close to you. He was like, I can't nurse. He started biting. He's like, I don't want that close contact. And it's taken him a long time. He's every now and then he'll accept a hug, but he's still like that. So some of our kids, it's a part of their their sensitivity. He's highly sensitive. So remember that when our children are super sensitive, you've probably got an empath on your hands. When they're super sensitive, they sometimes will display that in different ways. With him, I had to go to a psychiatrist. I did. Excuse me. Because he was very angry and very difficult. He was always what I would call an indigo child. And any of you who know what an indigo child is, he's very much an indigo. He is some of the symptoms, if I can remember, are these children that come to the earth with their own agenda. They often act out in public places. They absolutely do not do well, oftentimes in school situations, in public situations, because they can't come here with knowing what they came here to do. Now, they're powerful beings. They're not just little children. They're powerful, and they've come here with an agenda. And putting them in school every day is like torture. They know better. This is a waste of my time. Why are you making me do this? I have a lot of kids like that. And it has been very, very difficult to get them to conform. So, Carol, I would say that your child is probably one of those too. I don't know if you kind of, and if they're super sensitive the way he is, he can't stand. Most of my kids couldn't stand one of them, Caroline, she wouldn't even keep clothes on at all. Like, she'd come in the house and she had to strip, and shoes and everything. I couldn't get her to wear shoes when she was little. I remember Ty, when he was little, one time we were walking through Toys R Us when he was about 2, and he's just walking along behind me looking at toys, and I turn around after about 10 seconds, I turn around to look at him, and he is literally, there's a trail of clothes behind him. He's literally walking to the Toys R Us in a diaper. He took off all his clothes. This is the joy of raising super sensitive children. You are here. You are gifted. You have brought gifted children into the world. These children are here to make a difference. They've come into the world to do something mighty, something incredible. And the younger they are, these new ones, our grandchildren, I don't have any yet, but the new little ones that are coming through right now, man, watch out, world. Those kids are so gifted, and they've come here to save us all, I swear to that. I can feel it in many of them. Let's see, Carol, she is too, definitely an empath. Yeah, you always know an empath because they are not the easiest kids, because they are so sensitive. They tend to be more fussy when they're babies because everything. let's face it, when you're sensitive, every part of you is sensitive. That means that the belly, the foods, if we're not nursing them, if we're giving them formulas, sometimes when we are nursing them and we eat the wrong food, the lighting, migraines, all of my children have been migraine sufferers at different times, and depending on, especially when they're in public schools, because of the lights or because of the stress or because they're so sensitive. So there is nothing wrong with that. They're incredible. Even these children that are coming through that are autistic, they're just further advanced than we are. We'll catch up to them. It'll be okay. But right now, these poor little people, they're living on a planet that feels foreign and scary and uncomfortable. And we just have to be here and say, hey, I love you, every little part of you. I'm going to help you get through this, because they're gifts. They're coming here to help us. Little powerful light workers, incredible beings. Let's see. Yes, sleep last. I'm glad you got to sleep, Julie. That's excellent. Probably because you're away from all those electronics, right? Carol, I gardened in the rain the other day. Perfect. That's why. Thank you for that lesson too, because I just need to get out there. Even though I live in a place right now, it's bright sunshine. Yesterday it started out bright sunshine, and I was like, I'm gonna get out there today, and then I got slammed with a migraine, and I was flat out in bed. And by the time I got up, it started raining. So I did go out after the rainstorm, got into those mountains, took some beautiful pictures, and I felt that migraine while I was out there in those trees. I had zero headache. I am a nature baby. I need it. We all do. Let's see, having a lot going on with my older son. Annie, it's a difficult time, isn't it? It's difficult. Both kids are both gifted, yes. And it's a gift and a curse, the sensitivities. I always say that. We're highly sensitive. Oh my gosh. When I was young, it was horrible. When I was in school, I couldn't eat the right foods. I couldn't be in the cafeteria with other kids because it was too noisy. I was so sensitive to everything, and it was like, what is wrong with me? And I always thought, we came up with this the other day. I'm not sure who I was talking with, but I always thought everybody went through this stuff. I always thought, and I would look at them and I'm like, why is this so easy for those people? Why are they just going through life and nothing seems to bother them? Just rolls right off of them like water in a duck, They just, it's gone. They don't even worry about it. And I would be so sensitive that I was crying at everything. I was sick all the time. I was like running away from home, laying under the trees in the park, whatever I could do to try to get through it. So the beautiful thing is, I believe in this for my kids and for your kids, is that now that we are awake and now that we're aware, we can look at our children with more compassion and empathy and say, I get it. When we were little, everybody said, hey, stop being so whiny. Stop being so sensitive. Why do you cry so easy? Why are you always sick? They always gave us a hard time. Because back then, nobody realized that high sensitivity is a superpower. You're like Wonder Woman, Superman. You have a superpower. And as you expand on that, you're able to just light up the whole planet. We came here for this. And it's a beautiful time to be alive. And so it's also an incredible time for these new beings, these young people, to come into the world, because they're coming in with people. If they don't have it in their own home, at least maybe some of us are reaching them. And they're like, wait, I'm not such an oddball after all. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. There's other people like me on the planet. So they're way ahead of us in that way. Abulida, thank you for joining me. Carol, sounds very similar. Yeah, you and I are kind of on similar paths, I think. Annie, my little Grayson, he just made 4. I love the name Grayson. 4 is a beautiful age. It's so much fun. It's like they're finally starting to process in a way that's a little more sane. 2 is difficult. 1 is sweet, sweet, sweet. And then it works its way to 2, and you're like, oh, what happened to my baby? And 3 is horrid. I don't know why people complain so much about 2. 3 is awful. And then they get into 4 and suddenly, okay, now we got a little bit of sanity coming back and I can actually have a conversation with this person. They're starting to understand me a little better. They're not like insane, because little ones are truly, they're crazy little things. I love them dearly, but they can do the craziest suicidal things. That's really where it would make me crazy, is like, why did you do that to yourself? You know, why did you paint yourself with that magic marker? You know, why did you color the cat with the finger paints? You know, they do the craziest stuff. And it's okay, because it's all in their creativity. Alyssa, thank you for popping in. Annie, society diagnosed my four-year-old autistic. Yeah, society likes to give labels, doesn't it? Doesn't necessarily mean that we have to stick with those labels. Your son might be autistic in their eyes, but in our eyes, he's gifted. So just keep working him in that direction. Julie says both of my girls are empaths. Excellent. We're just bringing them in, aren't we? I think sometimes that was just my job. Sharon, one of my twins are super sensitive, and it's challenging. They are both gifted, and I am going to start teaching them more about awareness and capabilities, etc. That's excellent, because I think that so many times we forget that aspect of parenting. You know, we're like, okay, they got to go to school. They want to be at dance lessons, or learn how to play an instrument, or learn a new language. All these things that we want them to learn, and we forget that we have these beings that are ancient, that need our help to show them why they're here. You know, don't forget to show them their true purpose, and we can't just talk it at them, because they'll be like, they think your head's turning around backwards and whatever. Wait for those teachable moments when they're ready for it, and they will be. Mine come to me in little bits and pieces. Some are going to figure it out. Some may not figure it out in this lifetime. They don't know their own power, but I know that my oldest has really opened up to her own abilities. She's finally really getting it. My youngest has always been there, because she's an ancient soul. She covers it, but I have to tell you this. I haven't told anybody this yet. This little child was, she's not little anymore. She's taller than me, but she's 13. But she was a medium when she was little, and she would speak with spirits I couldn't see, and she would do the weirdest stuff. I knew she was very gifted. And at 5, she shut it down. She just, like, somebody scared her. She had a little guy, there was a boy spirit around her that scared her. And I didn't know enough about it at that time that I could have helped her. I just didn't know. I wasn't very awake as far as my own mediumship abilities. So she went through a lot of it by herself. And I would try to comfort her, but I didn't give her as much support as I probably should have. And so she shut it down, because we don't know, you know. The other day, I had this experience with this music box that I keep talking about that I still haven't posted pictures of, and I'm sorry. Here you go. I'll show it to you again if you haven't seen it. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. It's in the shadows, but it's there. It's a funny little music box, and I really do need to get it out there, because I think you guys will find it very interesting. But Wendy kind of picked up on the fact that I had a music box. She had a message, and she gave it to me, and I was like, so I checked it out, and it had an attachment. And man, the woman that was attached to that scared the willies out of me. She scared me big time. All of a sudden, I'm like, whoa, I got ice cubes at my back. I'm like, what in the world is that? I'm really good about keeping my energy clear and keeping my space clear. And she snuck in on that little music box, and I didn't find her until I turned the music box upside down. When it was sitting right side up, there was nothing. I turned it upside down, and I was like, oh my gosh. So we did a little clearing the other night. Well, the biggest thing that I was having was this pain here. As soon as she was here, I felt her pain in the side of my neck, like somebody had a knife sticking into the side of my neck. It really hurt. And I was so glad when she crossed over. I was like, thank goodness for her and for me. So yesterday, I was just kind of talking about that music box to my daughter, and I'm pretty open about these things. And I said, yeah, and I experienced this pain in my neck. And she said, Mom, I've been having a horrible pain in my neck for like a week. So she is, she's still very much a medium. She may not show it. She hides it. But oftentimes when we have experiences like that, I'll say, did you experience so-and-so? And she'll say, there is a man that's been going up and down the stairs. So she covers it up. And I'm telling you that for your own sake, for your own children's sake, that these children are so gifted, and they think it's weird, and they think it's scary, and they try to cover it, and they don't necessarily always do so well at covering it up. So just be aware of these special children that you've got. Be aware of what they're going through, because you remember how difficult it was for you, and they got nothing. They don't know. They don't know what they're experiencing. Sharon Boyle. My sensitivity was ridiculed and made to feel inferior by those around me with my ex and his family. Yeah, that happens often. Do you know what it is, though? I really spent a lot of time on that, is they are so threatened. Mankind, man, so a lot of times women, but when you carry that beautiful energy, when you carry that energy, you're gifted. So many can be threatened by that, and they can try to cover it up by belittling. In the past, they'd kill us off. All of us have lived past lives where we were probably killed off because mostly those people that gather in my kind of tribe are people that have gone through some horrible events in past lives for their abilities. And now we're being called back into service. We're being called out. We're being told, okay, you can come back out now. Can you feel that? If you feel truth in that, we're being called back out. So that's why all of us, some of us are putting ourselves right out there faces, because we're like, hey, it's okay now. You can come back out. It's okay to show your gifts. It's okay. There are many of us here for you. And if you've got people in your life that are trying to cover your light, don't let them. Your light is so important. It's so important that you're here now, that you're open to this, that you're willing to share your beautiful light and your abilities. And so as we're doing that, and as we're encouraging, our abilities are going like a hello, magic is back. We're bringing it back. It's okay. It's okay to show your abilities. It's okay to be that magical creature that you came here to be. Rose, thank you for joining us. Julie, yes, I'm so different with my girls than my parents were with me. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. Proud of how I raised them to be who they are. Exactly. We don't need to cover up their lights anymore. Let's let them shine. Let them be, because these little children, they're incredible. Carol, she's replying to Annie. My daughter, 32 now, was never given a label for her disability, but she is amazing. Yeah. You don't need a label. My son was told that he was, or I was told by my the psychiatrist for the 16-year-old, is that he is high on the autistic spectrum. And so we went through all of that when we were younger. Wow, good energy all of a sudden. The energy's building today, so what time is it? That's 10 o'clock. It's usually they like give me that first half hour to just talk, and then they're like, okay, when are you going to get to the good stuff? So we're going to get to the good stuff. Let me regroup from that. So anyway, mine was labeled with an autistic spectrum, but we don't need labels. We just need to be aware. The more awake we are, the more aware we are of our children and their needs, the more we're like, oh, okay, I get it. And the more their soul resonates with ours, it happens at a soul level. You'll find suddenly when you start working with yourself, when you start meditating and working with your own abilities and letting your own light shine, that your children start to feel more free and they resonate with you. It's not through our words. It's through our actions. It's through our energy that they're going to wake up. So just be open. Be listening when they have their questions, and understand that the work is being done by Spirit. You are here to support them. You're second fiddle when it comes to Spirit, because these kids came in and they're ancient creatures and they're hearing their messages better than we can give it to them. And so be open to them and just be there to support them and allow them to grow. Give them the space and the time that they need. Don't try to fill it. I can't say this enough. I've homeschooled all my kids quite a bit. I try not to fill their space with what society would insist that they do, because they know what they need to do, and they're making their contacts, and they're studying the things. I know that they still have to get that education, but Jackson has always studied the things. He's a total huge brain, and he studies the things that feel important to him, that his soul calls out for. Not the things that somebody else is throwing at him and stuffing at him and saying, you gotta study this. It wouldn't matter if I tried. I've tried a million times. I love the number 13. I've tried to force him into the box. There is no forcing some of these kids into the box. They're going to learn what they came here to learn. They're going to do. It's waking them up. That stuff that they're drawn to is waking them up to their purpose here. And I know he's got a huge purpose. So it's more allowing. Just allow them. Give them that space. Know that they came here in a newer model than we have. Their intuition opens up more easily A lot of them come here with their Akash records. They're just like, I already remember. It's not like they don't have that total amnesia like we had. They may not remember past lives. They may not remember all of the things that they've gone through. Wow. But they come here with the remembrance of lessons that they have learned in past lives. And because they do that, they're way ahead of us. They don't have to go through the 40 or 50 years to try to figure it all out. They're here and they know. And if we could just allow them to be. I sometimes really think that this shutdown that we've had, a lot of that had to do with the school systems and the way that we've been raising our children, because there is nothing more important than allowing these beautiful souls to come into the world and to do the work that they've come here to do. And sometimes, as you have learned on your own, sometimes you have to step out of your own way. We have to step out of the way of our children. We have to remember that they are ancient souls. These children that are labeled autistic or whatever it is that they're going through, they are different. You can sense it. They've got a light inside of them that is not going to be, but Jackson, that light is not going to be smothered. He's not going to allow it. He's not going to allow me to force him to do the things that don't feel right to him. Absolutely not going to. That's what it's all about to be an indigo child. They know more than we do. We might as well just face it. Let's see. Scarlett, it was scary. I agree with you. It was scary to be a child. So many things. We have these abilities and we had to cover them up, because if we let our light shine when we were little, we didn't have the protection needed. And those that would put out that would try to snuff that beautiful light, they're bigger and they're stronger. And you're right. It's scary. It was scary. We're not those little children anymore. We still have those little injured children inside of us, but we're adults now and we can come into the world and we can be strong. And we can stand up for ourselves and we can stand up for our children. We don't have to cover our lights anymore. Charles, been gardening for 3 weeks, pulling weeds, palms of both hands sore, meditating in middle of night, my dog sleeping on bed, gets restless, jumps off the bed, I hear a scream, sage bedroom, because I took things out of cedar chest, my wife's styles and my mom's things. You really, really need to do a good sage everything in your house, and please ask. Because it's, your angels, Archangel Michael's available to all of us. It's not just a certain few that call on him. We all can channel angels. We all can ask for help. And you may ask for help anytime you like. And your house needs to be cleared of that negative energy. And if there are things in your house that are dragging you down, that are scaring your dog, that are making you feel like your energy is getting drained, or you feel fearful, or any kind of negative emotion coming off of those objects, if you can't clear them, if you can't sage them and ask Archangel Michael to come in and help you to cross over any spirits, anything that is not in your home for your highest of good, you need to ask to have it cleared, taken away. Every nook and cranny, the property that you live on, the car that you drive, every human being that's in there with you, ask for a clearing. And if after that clearing you still have items in your house that feel dark and don't feel good to you, you need to give them away. Let them go. Don't even, whatever you got to do, don't keep them, because they're just pulling you down. They're not going to let you grow. They're going to keep on dragging your energy. It's really important. We're highly sensitive beings, and we have to be really careful what we surround ourselves with. It's so important. So Michelle, let's see, my daughter is 27, gifted, she's clairaudient. She has 2 boys and is not following the path I wanted but her own. We all got to let our kids do that. She is an amazing light, and I'm finally understanding I need to stay out of her way. She's a healer, and I am, but so much braver. That's so true. I love that story. They come in here knowing they're on a mission, don't they? And no matter how much we try to block that mission, they're going to find a way around it, because they know that they're here to do something big. So we just need to do what we would do for ourselves, step out of the way. Just love them. Just love them. Allison, nice to see you. Michelle, yeah, I'm glad that you're agreeing with that. Charles was told it was a pain of Christ on the cross. Wow, that's pretty powerful pain. I've experienced that myself. It's this, without going deeply into religion, and I'm very open to any religion, but I do believe that that there is pain that we all carry. I came to that not that long ago, that we all carry the burden of the pain that Christ carried, because I don't look at it as like God sent somebody here to suffer for us. I look at it as human beings needed a sacrifice in order to let go of their own sins, in order to say, well, I'm going to give this to somebody else. Somebody else is going to take this for me. There's no judgment on the other sides, but we said, as human beings, that we don't believe. We believe that we're separated from God and we need a sacrifice. And so God came to us and said, okay, if you really need a sacrifice, I'm going to come. I'm here. I'm going to die this horrible way. And so we feel that pain. It's the Christ white light consciousness. We're feeling that pain and suffering that came to earth to save us, to help us, to make us feel like we were once again connected to God. Even though we've always been connected to God, nothing ever stopped that. So, I don't know. I don't want to go deeply into that, but I do believe, Charles, that you're probably right. If it's some things you do feel, you can accept that. You can accept the fact that you're feeling that pain. And then you can also, by acknowledging it, you can kind of feel it. We all feel our pains, all kinds of pains, whatever kind of pain you're having. Go ahead and feel it, spend some time in it, and then say, okay, I'm done with it. I'm ready to release it. And when you release it, and you ask for Archangel Michael or whoever you'd like to call on to say, here, I'm letting this go now. I don't want to feel this pain anymore. It goes. You don't have to carry that burden, okay? Just ask for help. Michelle, she's been my biggest teacher. Our children are our biggest teachers, aren't they? Even from the time they're born, and they just continue on. And sometimes those lessons they're teaching us are no fun at all. But it's okay, because that's why we're here. We want to learn. I'm not knocking the tooth out. All right, you guys. I would like us to sit together for just a few minutes. It is 10 after 12, 12 after 10. Something like that. You're so welcome, Charles. Just ask. They're always around you, your family, your loved ones. But you have to be sure to kind of ask for that protection, to just say, you know what, I want to feel safe in my own home. Just ask, okay? All right. So I'd like you to feel centered and grounded today. Sharon Boyle, more healing to you for that tonsillitis. Anybody that's having for this headache feels better already, so I'm going to let it continue. I'm letting go of my headache, letting it go. I no longer want to suffer with that, so I'm going to let it go. Anybody that's feeling any kind of, it can be emotional pain, it can be physical pain. If your spirit is having a hard time opening up today, let's do some good clearing. Let's pull in some beautiful clearing energy from the angels. So I'd like you to, I think I'm caught up with your comments. Thank you for all these comments today. They've been very helpful. Very, very, it's a nice conversation, so I enjoy that. So thank you for that. So as you're sitting here, let's try to get ourselves kind of centered together. I'm going to draw that in. I'm asking for my team and archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, for healing. We all need a good healing energy, a good healing touch. Any archangel that is here that wants to help, any other angels, any of your angels, if you'd like to join them or invite them, if you'd like to invite them, if you'd like to invite any of your loved ones that have passed that are here only for our highest of good, we will allow them into the ceiling space, and we're going to create a huge bubble. So I'm working on that right now. If you can envision yourself inside of this bubble, okay? So breathe deeply into your heart space. And I'm getting us all centered. We've got all kinds of help around us. So every day lately we've been feeling the need. We do the inner child, and if you have a squeaky wheel, of course, bring it into the center of the circle. If there's a little child in you that needs some extra attention, bring that child into the center. And then we're going to once again reunite with our Holy Spirit higher selves. So if you're so willing, if you would like to meet your Holy Spirit higher self, which is the part of you that has never suffered, never had any damage, I want you to breathe deeply into your heart space and envision them just joining us in the circle. And you are a beautiful light being, so as you do that, there's this beautiful incoming, all of these light beings coming into this beautiful space. It's like a cathedral this morning, crystal cathedral. It's beautiful. And I feel you entering. Beautiful souls. And as we're gathering, our arms are just wrapping around all these beautiful little ones, all of your little ones that have issues today, that are feeling insecure. If you have children that you want to have join, if you have little ones yourself, or even any of your children, if you would like to invite their Holy Spirit higher selves to join us here, you can do that too. You can do that. They have the right, as adults, they have the right to say, no, I don't want to do that. But sometimes when you work with your loved ones on that spiritual level, that part of them that doesn't, it's really not your child. It's like the most powerful part of them comes into the building and they join us. And then we get to know the truth of who they are. So I'm going to invite all of the Holy Spirit higher selves of my children into this healing space. And I feel some joining me. That's beautiful. So nice. So we have quite a gathering here. If you have any loved ones that you'd like to join, if you'd like to invite your angels or your guides, let's all gather in this huge cathedral. It's crystal and it's just shining like rainbows all over as the sun shines on it. Can you see that? All the prisms of light. And you're such a bright, shining spirit that those prisms of light are coming out of you too. They're just, if we were looking through our physical eyes, it would be so beautiful we would be blinded. This is something that you see through your third eye. So allow yourself to close your eyes and see through that space. I can feel a lot of work going on in the third eye right now. It's like little hands working in that head space. Thank you for that healing. Thank you for that growth. Allow yourself, oftentimes, if you can see me, if you take your fingers like this, and I was just reminded to do that, and you just pull from the center out like this. Just pull. I don't know if your eyes are open now. I told you to close them, but if you see them, you put your fingers right in the center of your head. Give it a little pressure. It feels good in that third eye to give it a little pressure, a little third eye massage. Our third eyes love that. And then we're being directed to just pull outward like this. And that is creating space. You're literally making physical space for that third eye expansion. That's why we're having such headaches right now. Pull that out. Create a bigger space there. Let that third eye just grow as big as it wants to grow. Our physical bodies are receiving healing as our Holy Spirit higher selves are joining together. I can sense the power amongst them. And we're going to use that energy in just a few minutes for a big healing across the planet. So let's get our bodies all comfortable and ready to accept them back in when they're ready. So we're going to allow Archangel Michael, all of our archangels, whoever would like to join us, your source energy, to wash the most beautiful energy down through the crown, right at the top of your head, washing down through your third eye. Now that you've made space there, it just flows easily right down through your third eye, clearing away the clutter, allowing you to see your own truth, allowing you to see the truth around you, allowing you to see the world differently. The colors are brighter. Everything's more vivid. You'll find that you just want to stop, and every time you see a sunset or a butterfly or anything beautiful, you just got to stop in your tracks. Oh, wow. I've never seen it like that before. It's so beautiful. You'll see that. It's incredible when you open that up. And then down through into the throat space. This is going very quickly. It's a clearing energy that is just running. It's like liquid gold running right down into your throat. You can yawn big if you need to. There's healing going there. Feels so good. Breathe deeply into your throat. And while you're working on this, can you feel how we are lifting, how Spirit is lifting us up off the ground, this beautiful Holy Spirit higher self circle. We are now no longer contained in any kind of a building, and our souls are in a huge, beautiful circle, and we're all just raising up into the sky. We're going to go off into space, and we're going to wrap ourselves around this earth. So allow your Holy Spirit higher self to do that work right now. Up into space, see the clouds, pass through those clouds. Go up into the darkness. We're going through that, hold on. Ah, so beautiful. Just go right on up through the clouds and through the, you know what it is, through the earth's shields. We don't need to stay within those shields in our spirit form, so we can go right on through. There's nothing that stops us. We're right on out, and we are out into space, and it's dark, and there's beautiful stars everywhere, and some meteors, and I see the moon. The sun is distant. I can still feel her warmth. And if you look hard enough, you might even see some other galaxies out there, some other life forms. See what you can see. Just enjoy that space for a few minutes as your body is receiving healing. Float out there. Let yourself feel what it's like to step out of the body for just a little while. Breathe deeply into your heart space. I'm going to hold the energy there for you. There's still clearing going on in the throat. There's clearing going on through the heart. Excuse me. There's like an upgrade, new energy flowing right now. I can literally feel it going through every cell. It's beautiful. Thank you for that healing. And it's moving down into the solar plexus. Letting go. Release your hands right now. Those of you that are holding on tightly, just release. Don't try to hold on. You're not going to lose anything that's important. You're only losing those lower vibrational energies, those things that hold you back. You can let those go. One of these days, our bodies are going to be flying just like our souls. I can see it coming. Clear that away. You're getting this new upgrade, this light body. Feel your wings at your shoulders. Wiggle those shoulders around. You're expanding. You're growing those beautiful wings so that you can fly. And that energy, thank you. Big clearing in the throat right now. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Down into the second. We're going to clear away all the clutter there, any sexual energy that is no longer, that is holding you to lower vibrational energies, any anything that you're holding. I also call that the womb, that mama energy. If you're holding on to any negative energy relating to your mama or to the birthing experience and those lower chakras, we're going to let those go. We can hold on to that. Coming into the world is painful and difficult. So as we work with the inner child, we go all the way back to the birthing process. It's okay. It's okay. We know it was difficult, it was painful, it was scary. So difficult to go from spirit form to this beautiful being of light into the physical. And so we were traumatized by that. So right now we're clearing out that energy of the birthing trauma, allowing ourselves to realize our own greatness, allowing ourselves to remember the truth of who we are. You are the spark of God. You are the spark of creation. And you hold within you the ability to create this new earth. And so we're helping you to re-establish that foundation, that knowing of who you are right now. So it's down into the sacral chakra. And right beneath you, where you're sitting down, is this beautiful platform that's being built for you to jump from. It's time to jump. It's time to let yourself walk that plank and to be willing to just step off of it. You can't see what's coming, and that's okay. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of this is letting go. So just let go. You can trust. And I see your light beings all the way around the earth right now. You're flying. It's like you got your superhero capes on and you're flying across the earth. And there's these stars that are in your wake that are following around behind you. And as you're flying, those stars are just falling to earth wherever needed. It's stars of healing, wakefulness. You're like, you're literally sharing this. What do they call it? It'll come to me. Do you remember the that sleepy stuff. This is a wake-up call. So this is like, instead of you're putting people to sleep, you're actually waking them up with this beautiful energy that you're creating. And so allow that energy to flow all the way around the earth as you're flying. Can you see it? Spread your wings, fly quickly, and that energy is just circling the planet. And that's beautiful. You're doing beautiful work, and you're being thanked for the work that you're doing right now. You're so appreciated. You're so loved. There's excellent clearing going now. All the way from the base of your feet. It's coming up from the earth into your feet, up your ankles. I hope you can feel that warmth. It's coming up your legs, moving right up over your knees and up your thighs and into your spine and into every cell of your body. This beautiful recycled energy from the earth is just blasting right on through and creating a perfect environment for your Holy Spirit higher self and that little child that you pulled out to come back in. And so when you feel it, and it's completely up to you, when you feel that energy go all the way up your spine, all the way up into your head, through your crown, and back out through the top, so that it's just spraying out rainbows of light all the way around the earth. When you feel ready, you can pull that Holy Spirit higher self, you can pull that little one back inside of you, back into that heart space that is now wide open. You've had this beautiful expansion. They're in there and they're stretching, and they're like, ooh, feel this, it feels so much better. Stretch your arms out, stretch yourself in any way that feels right to your body right now, so that you're creating space, integrating the energy between your Holy Spirit higher self as it joins back in with you and this physical self, so that you're coming together in the most beautiful way. Pain goes away when we work like this. It takes away that expansion pain, because that's really part of this whole process that we're going through. The body is having a hard time keeping up, so help it. Stretch often. I just saw you all like Stretch Armstrong. Picture yourself like Stretch Armstrong, where you're just pulling, making space all the time. And as you all join right back inside of your body, we're going to close that up nice and sound and beautiful and healthy. This beautiful seal around you. Archangel Michael is wrapping each one of you up in protection and love, and thanking you for all of your releasing today. Beautiful, beautiful. You all feel centered and grounded and ready to face your day. Take in a big breath. You're working so hard. You're doing such a beautiful job. And I'm so grateful to you today for coming here, for joining me, for allowing your body to feel this beautiful energy, this healing, this cleansing, and this beautiful growth. And that your light is shining in the most beautiful way. Don't be afraid to let that light shine in whatever way you feel is right for you. When you get inside of yourself and you're really listening to yourself, what do I need to do today? How can I shine my light even brighter? I see you polishing it. Polish that light. Let it shine. It's time. We're waking people up. Hello, Isabel. Thank you for popping in there. All right. It's about that time. I got to let you go. I have so enjoyed your company today. I've enjoyed all of the responses that you've had. I'm so grateful and thankful every day that you join me here. Sharon Boyle, I hope that you feel calm, that you feel valued, because you are. Our angels are telling us that. You are so valued. They are so grateful to you for coming here, for suffering in that physical body, for all of the illness and all the difficult times. You are being gifted with beautiful healing energy, and it just fills every cell of your body. They love you so much. Carol Allen, you are so welcome. Sharon, you're so welcome. Sketch, yes, sketch. Be creative today. Use that creative energy. It opened up inside of you. Sing, dance, enjoy life today. You're so welcome. Please enjoy your day. I will, Scarlett, thank you. Yes, I did see you earlier. Sharon, let's see. I was having a moment in the swing chair. Perfect. And Spirit shouted, Diane. It said, wake up and get in there. Get in there and get your clearing. Excellent, Sharon. I'm so glad that you listened. Thank you guys for joining me. I love you. I got to get off of here. It's just about that time. I will be back tomorrow at 9:30. That's my time at the playground. And I am so appreciative to you. Thank you for being in my soul family, for joining me today.